Students, welcome to my English tutorial. I am Shikha Shrivastava. Today we will learn an interesting topic of grammar, modals. Of late I have been getting a lot of queries pertaining to modals. So before we begin, please subscribe to my channel and let's get started. First we will understand what are modals. Modals are basically verbs. They are also known as modal verbs, modal auxiliary verbs, modal auxiliaries. We should know what are verbs. Verbs are words which denote action in a sentence or also tell us the state or being of any person or object. So these modal auxiliaries, they are different from normal verbs like work, play, visit. They give additional information about the function of the main verb that follows it. They have a great variety of communicative functions. So when it comes in the context of the communicative aspect of language, modals play a very important role in order to add more information to the main verb. Mostly they are followed by the bare infinitive, or we can say the first form of the verb without any suffix. Here are some characteristics of modal verbs. They never change their form. You can't add s, ed or ing unlike with other verbs. Third person, simple present tense, singular, takes s, es or ies, ed in the past tense form of the verb or past participle form of the verb, ing in the continuous tenses. So their forms never change. They are always followed by first form of the verb. So a modal auxiliary will always be followed by the first form of the verb or the root form of the verb. They are used to indicate modality, that is the mode, which allows speakers to express certainty, possibility, willingness, obligation, necessity, ability. Here is the list of modal verbs. Can, could, may, might, will, would, shall, should and must. So these are the most important modal auxiliaries. The verbs or expressions dare, ought to, had better and need not behave like modal auxiliaries to a larger extent and may be added to the above list. Now we'll see use of modal verbs. Modal verbs are used to express functions such as permission, ability, obligation, prohibition, lack of necessity, advice, possibility and probability. So such expressions are conveyed through modal auxiliary verbs. For permission, we have 4 auxiliaries: can, could, may and might. For ability also can and could, obligation must, should, have to, ought to. Prohibition again must not. Lack of necessity need not. Advice had better. Possibility, probability. There are 2 modal auxiliaries, may and might. They both are used, but we will see the comparison between both of them. Examples of modal verbs. Here is a list of modals with examples. In the first column you can see the modal verb. In the second column what do they express, and in the third column their usage. So the first one is the modal auxiliary used for obligation. This is the strongest obligation, must. Strong obligation. Example, you must stop when the traffic lights turn red. Must is also used to express logical conclusion or certainty. For example, he must be very tired, He's been working all day long. In all the sentences, you can see that the modal auxiliary is followed by the first form of the verb. In the first case, you see it's a very strong obligation. As I just told it to you, that must, should, have to, ought to, they are synonymous and they are used for obligation, but among them must is the modal which is used to express the strong obligation. Must not is used to prohibit, express prohibition. For example, you must not smoke in the hospital, forbidding something, stopping something. Next modal is can. Can is used to express ability. Ability is to do something. You can do something. I can swim. I can complete my homework in 1 hour. I can write using 2 hands. Okay, so can shows the ability of doing some action. Can is also used for permission. You have to ask for something from somebody. You can use can. As I told it to you, can, could, may and might, they are used for permission, but among them, could, might and may, they are polite as compared to can. Can is used asking for permission. In that case, when you are asking for something of your own age group or of the same level, when you are talking to somebody who is senior to you, who is superior to you, in that case, can is not used because can sounds more authoritatively as compared to could, might and may. So when we talk to any person who is in senior position or who is older than us, in that case we have to use either could, may or might for permission. Can also expresses possibility. For example, smoking can cause cancer. So it shows the possibility, but it is not a very, very strong possibility. Now comes could. Could is also used to express ability, but it is used to show the ability in the past. So it is the past form of the modal can. When I was younger, I could run fast. When I was 10 years old, I could ride a bike. So, ability which was there in the past. Could is used for polite permission. As I already told it to you, that could is used for permission and it is more polite as compared to can. Excuse me, could I just say something? It is also used to express possibility. It could rain tomorrow, but not a very strong possibility. Now comes may. May is again used for permission and it is polite. It is more polite as compared to can. May I use your phone please? Possibility and probability both. For example, it may rain tomorrow. Now might. Might is again used for polite permission. Might I suggest an idea? And it is also used for expressing both possibility and probability. But when it comes to strong possibility, then might is less stronger than may. May is a modal which is used to express a strong possibility of happening of an event, but still it is not certain, whereas might is the past form of the verb may and it is used to show the possibility of occurrence of an event, but it is less stronger than may. So may shows the strong possibility as compared to might. Example is, I might go on holiday to Australia next year. If it is used like I may go on holiday to Australia next year, so it gives the stronger possibility as compared to might. Now comes need not. Need not is used to express lack of necessity or absence of obligation, when there is no obligation. It is also synonymous to must not. Must not is stronger as compared to need now. How it is used, we will see. I need not buy tomatoes. There are plenty of tomatoes in the fridge. So if there is lack of necessity, in order to express lack of necessity, we use the modal need not. Now should or ought to. As I already told it to you, these both are used to express obligation, but as compared to must, they are less stronger. I should or ought to see a doctor. I have a terrible headache. You see, there is an obligation, but it is not as strong as must. It is also used for should and ought to. Both are used for advice. You should or ought to revise your lessons. Also, they are used for logical conclusions, similarly to must, but to lesser extent. He should or ought to be very tired. He's been working all day long. Now, had better. Had better is used to express advice. You had better revise your lessons. So, to express advice, we use modal auxiliary had better. Now, we should remember few things about modal verbs. Modal verbs are followed by the first form of the verb. For example, in these three sentences, you can see, you must stop when the traffic lights turn red. You must see to the doctor. There are a lot of tomatoes in the fridge. You need not buy any. In my next video, we will learn about the present and the past forms of few modal auxiliaries. Modals will continue in my upcoming videos. If you've liked this video, please like, comment, share and subscribe. Thank you.